Pilgrim and 8 Rules, however, did not give chase immediately. They went back to the shore instead to talk about what had happened. "This fellow's will to fight has been blunted now," said 8 Rules. "With my rake, I fought my way in and caused tremendous wreckage. They were frightened out of their wits. I was just fighting with that son-in-law when the old dragon chased me out. It was a good thing that you beat him to death. When they get back inside, they will undoubtedly prepare for mourning and the funeral, and they certainly will not come out again. It's getting late also. What shall we do? Why worry about the time?" said Pilgrim. "You should make use of this opportunity and go down to attack them once more. We must recover the treasure before we can return to the court." Our idiot, however, had turned slothful and indolent, refusing to go with all sorts of excuses. "Brother," urged Pilgrim, "there's no need for all your deliberations. Just entice them to come as before, and I'll attack them." As the two were conversing like that, they suddenly saw a vast expanse of dark fog moved by a churning, violent gale from the east toward the south. When Pilgrim took a more careful look, he found that it was Erlang of illustrious sagacity traveling with the 6 brothers of Plum Mountain. Leading hawks and hounds, they were also pawing foxes, hares, deer, and antelopes. Each of them had a curved bow dangling from his waist and a sharp blade in his hand, as they sped forward astride the wind and fog. 8 Rules," said Pilgrim. "Those 7 sages happen to be my bond brothers. We should detain them and ask them to help us do battle. If we succeed, it'll be a wonderful opportunity for us. If they're your brothers," replied 8 Rules, "we should indeed ask them to stay. But they have in their midst Big Brother Illustrious Sagacity," said Pilgrim, "who once defeated me. I'm a little embarrassed about showing myself abruptly to him. Why don't you block the path of their clouds and say, 'Lord Immortal, please stop for a moment. The great sage, equal to heaven, is here to pay you respect.' When he hears that I'm here, he will certainly stop. When he settles down, it'll be easier for me to see him." Our idiot indeed mounted the clouds and rose quickly to the peak of the mountain. "Lord Immortal," he cried with a loud voice, "please slow your horses and chariots. The great sage, equal to heaven, wishes to see you." On hearing this, that Holy Father gave the order for the 6 brothers to stop. After they met 8 Rules, he asked, "Where is the great sage, equal to heaven?" 8 Rules said, "He awaits your summons below there in the mountain." "Brothers," said Erlang, "please invite him to come here." The 6 brothers, being Kang, Zhang, Rao, Li, Guo, and Xu, all ran out of the camp and cried, "Elder brother Sun Wukong, Big Brother requests your presence." Pilgrim went forward, and, after he greeted each of them, they went up the mountain together. He was met by the Holy Father Erlang, who extended his hands to him, and said, "Great sage, you were delivered from the great ordeal and received the commandments in the Gate of Sand. The days may be counted when your merit will be achieved and you will ascend your lotus throne. You are to be congratulated." "Hardly," said Pilgrim. "I received great kindness from you in the past, and I have yet to repay you. Though I have been delivered from my ordeal and am now journeying toward the west, I have no idea what sort of merit I shall accomplish. We are passing through at this moment the Sacrifice Kingdom, and in order to rescue some priests from their calamity, we have come here to capture fiends and demand the return of a treasure. By accident, we saw the noble entourage of Elder Brother, and we make bold to request your assistance. We have no knowledge as to where you have come from or whether you will be pleased to grant us our wish." "Because I had nothing to do," said Erlang with a smile. "I went hunting with the brothers, from which we were just returning. The great sage is most kind in asking us to stop, which is ample proof of how greatly he cherishes an old friend. If you want me to help you defeat some fiends, dare I not obey you? But what fiendish thieves are occupying this region? You must have quite forgotten, Big Brother," said one of the 6 sages. "This is the Scattered Rock Mountain, and below it is the Green Wave Lagoon, the Dragon Palace of All Saints." Somewhat startled, Erlang said, "But the old dragon All Saints doesn't cause any trouble. How would he dare steal a pagoda treasure? He recently took in a son-in-law," said Pilgrim, a 9-headed insect who had become a spirit. The two of them conspired together as thieves and brought down a rain shower of blood on the Sacrifice Kingdom, after which they took away the Sarira Buddhist treasure on top of the Golden Light Monastery. Not perceiving the truth of the matter, the king bitterly persecuted and tortured the priests of that monastery instead. My master in mercy was moved to sweep the pagoda during the night, during which I caught 2 small fiends on the top. They were sent there on patrol, and when we took them into court this morning, they made an honest confession. The king therefore asked our master to subdue the fiends, and that was how we were sent here. During our first encounter, 8 Rules was hauled away by that 9-headed insect when an additional head popped out of his torso. I went into the water by means of transformation and managed to rescue 8 Rules. We had another fierce battle when I slew the old dragon, whose corpse was taken away by that fellow and his cohorts. We were just in the midst of discussing how to provoke battle again when you and your noble companions arrived. Hence our imposition on you. If you did smite the old dragon," said Erlang, "this is the best time to attack them. They'll not be prepared, and we can exterminate the whole nest of them." "That may be so," said 8 Rules. "But after all, it's getting late now," Erlang replied. "As the military theorist says, an army does not wait for the times. Why worry about how late it is?" Kang, one of the brothers, spoke up. "There's no hurry, big brother. Since his family members live here, that fellow is not about to run away. Now, since second elder brother Sin is our honored guest, and since Stiff Bristles Hog also has returned to the right fruit, we should have a party right now, especially when we have brought wine and food along to our camp. The little ones can start a fire and we can set it up right at this place. We may toast the 2 of them and enjoy a nice visit together this evening. By morning, we can then provoke battle, and there'll be still plenty of time." Exceedingly pleased, Erlang said, "Our worthy brother has spoken well." And he gave the order at once for the little ones to prepare the banquet. "We dare not decline the noble sentiments of all of you," said Pilgrim. "But since becoming priests, we have been observing the dietary laws. I hope we'll not cause any inconvenience. But we do have fruits and the like," replied Erlang. "And even our wines are dietary." And so, by the light of the moon and the stars, the brothers lifted their cups in friendship, using heaven as their tent and earth as their mat. Truly the lonely watches are long, but a happy night is all too short. Soon, the east turned pale with light. A few goblets of wine had given 8 Rules enormous inspiration, and rousing himself, he said, "It's about dawn. Let old Hog go into the water to provoke battle." "Do be careful, Marshal," said Erlang. "Just trick him into coming out and we brothers will do our part." I know," said 8 Rules, laughing. "Look at him." Tightening his clothes and gripping the rake, he used the water division magic and leapt down there. The moment he arrived before the towered gateway, he gave a shout and fought into the palace hall. At the time, the dragon's son, having draped himself with a mourning gown of hemp, was standing guard over his father's corpse and weeping. The dragon grandson and that son-in-law were busily preparing a coffin in the back. Shouting abuses, our 8 Rules rushed forward and his upraised hands delivered a heavy blow with his rake. 9 gaping holes at once appeared on the head of that dragon son. The dragon dame was so aghast that she ran madly inside, wailing, "That long snout monk has killed my son also." When he heard this, the son-in-law immediately took up his crescent-toothed spade and led the dragon grandson out to do battle. Lifting his rake to oppose them, our 8 Rules fought as he retreated, and soon they arrived on the surface of the water. All at once, the great sage, equal to heaven, and the 7 brothers swarmed all over them, and in no time at all, the showering blows of swords and spears reduced the dragon grandson to a few meat patties. When that son-in-law saw that things were going badly, he rolled on the ground immediately and changed back into his original form. Spreading his wings, he soared into the air. Arlang took out his golden bow, affixed a silver pellet, and sent it hurtling toward the insect. The fiend quickly flapped his wings and darted down, wanting to bite Arlang. Just when another head popped out from the middle of his torso, however, the small hound of Arlang leapt into the air with a terrific bark and bit it clean off. In great pain, the fiend fled toward the North Sea. 8 Rules was about to give chase, but he was stopped by Pilgrim, who said, "Let's not follow him. As the proverb has it, the desperate fugitive should not be chased. One of his heads has been bitten off by the small hound, and it's unlikely that he'll survive. Let me change into his appearance instead, and you open up a path in the water. Chase me into his palace. After we find the princess, we can wangle back the treasure." Arlang said, "I suppose it's all right that we don't track him down. But if this kind of creature remains in the world, it will undoubtedly bring great harm to people in posterity.